All right,
Loud
so
and
good
clear.
afternoon, everyone. So today we will be I will be discussing about the chordates and fishes, since this would be the final discussion. But then, since wala may mag-report, ako na lang po mag-report for now. So for those who don't know, chordates or chordata is the animal which have the a notochord. It is also includes with the vertebrates with some closely relative intervertebrates. In case you don't know what is notochord, notochord, this would be the flexible skeletal rod that made of cartilage is what gives chordates their name. So it means this would be chordates. And let next slide po. All right, so this would be the characteristics of the chordates. First would be a chordate is an animal that in some stage of development has. So as I said, this would be notochord and a dorsal nerve cord. First would be the notochord. This would be the dorsal rod of specialized nerves in the or in the fishes. The next one would be a dorsal nerve cord. It is a hollow tube just above the notochord. As you can see, the picture na naka-indicate sa slides, that would be sa taas niya, that would be the dorsal nerve cord. The next one would be pharyngeal pouches. That would be the small pockets of the anterior out of the notochords exist only in the embryo. The next characteristic of chordates would be notochord replaced by an endoskeleton or endoskeleton. As you can see sa bones niya, meron siyang um wait, meron siyang white yan yung tinatawag natin na endoskeleton. So the endoskeleton grows as the minimal animal grows. So it is a part of the animal growth that would be the endoskeleton, which is makikita mo din siya also sa mga fishes. The next characteristic of chordates would be brain connected to a network of complex sensory organs. The next one would be the lower chordates, that would be the fishes, amphibians, and also the pharyngeals pouches evolved into the for a moment into these sets. So there would be three classifications of chordates. The first would be orochordata. The next one would be cephalochordata and the vertebra or the vertebrata. So next slide po, Lai. All right. Thank you so much. So as you can see, the orochordata has the hollow barrel shape that commonly called tunicates. And also, tunicates also known as the sea skirts. As you can see sa picture, yan yung tinatawag natin na tunicates or the honor chordata. The next one would be cephalochordata. The cephalochordata or the subphylum Colochordata would be the marine organism that is usually shallow by the water. It is also best represented by the blade shape. Yan, nakikita niyo yung picture. That would be the examples of the Cephalochordata. And it's also called the branchiostoma. The next one would be subphylum vertebrata. Vertebrata. Vertebrata named for the vertebrates. It is also functions by the brains protected by an outer skull. As you can see sa picture, sa head niya, that would be the parts of the vertebrata. It is also has a backbone and the skull make up the eggshell skeleton. The next characteristics of vertebrata would be the organs of vertebrates that organize into 10 systems. So di ba, we already discussed the systems of the animal and as well as the human. So in fishes, since it's part of the animal, meron din siyang 10 systems. The first one would be skeletal, muscular, integumentary, digestive, circulatory, excretory, immune, nervous, and as well as yung integumentary system niya. So this would be an evolutions and classification of fishes. So since we already discussed about the chordates, we will move on to the classifications of the fishes, which is also the evolution. Next slide po, Lies. Sa baba pala. Yan. All right. Thank you so much. So this would be the evolution and classification of the fishes. First, there would be three classes of the vertebrates: the agnatha, chondricytises, and as well as the ostis. Yes. And this also parts of the classification of the fishes, which is the fishes are the most numerous of all vertebrates and the most widespread in their distribution. So the chordates or the fishes, it is part of the chordates. The first one that has the adaptations of the in classification of the fishes would be because the water is 800 times of the density of air. It also affects both the body and the mobility of fishes. The adaptation of buoyancy or the trapping of gas inside their body or the gas bladder in order to regulate their vertical position. So that would be the adaptations when in parts of the evolutions and classification of fishes. The next would be the ability to swim. So, di ba, as a human, marunong din tayong lumangoy. But in fishes, that would be the best classification that they have. A streamlined shape and muscular tail enables them to move rapidly through the water. Paired fins allow them to maneuver easily left or right, up or down, and also the backward and forward. The muscles reduce fractions. That would be the part of the adaptations in regards with the classification of fishes. The next one would be the scales limit chemical exchange through the skin. It also exchanges occur through the membranes of the gills, the external respiratory organs. So we already discussed about the systems of the other animals and as well as the humans. So here in fishes, meron din silang mga systems, just like us. So, yung paglalangoy, it is very normal sa kanila kasi hindi sila mabuhay kung wala sila sa tubig. And that would be the best classifications or characteristics that they have. The next one would be the lateral line system. What would be the lateral line system? It also consists of a row sensory structures that run the length of the body and as well as to connect by the nerves to the brain detects. The next parts would be, or the first classes of the vertebrates that includes of the fishes would be agnatha. Agnatha or jawless. First, that the classifications Agnatha has do not have a lateral line system. Kung baga, yung Agnatha, wala siyang lateral system. The next one would be Agnatha has a 45 species of the lampreys, which is the freshwater, and hagfish, which is from the oceans. The next would be cyclotoms. It is the round mouths that have neither plates nor scales. As you can see the picture, baba pa po, Lai. All right. Yeah, as you can see the picture, that would be the examples of agnatha. That would be the jawless agnatha. So the next one would be the notochord. It is eel-like shape or cartilaginous skeleton and unpaired fins. The next would be the lampreys. It is a part of agnatha that has a free-living or parasitic. It is also adapted for the sucking blood and body fluids of other fishes. So yung lampreys, once na makadikit siya sa balat, it will suck your blood. And then the next would be the highly or the next classification in agnatha with that parts also of the lampreys would be highly developed sense of smell. They are really like mabilis sila maka-amoy. It is also nasal pore lids to have a olfactory sacs that connect with olfactory lobes. 'Di ba sa tao meron siyang four lobes sa nervous system. So here in agnatha meron din silang parts niyan. So the next would be feeding attached by suction. It is a tear hole with a toothy tongue secrete chemical to prevent clothing. In lampreys, you do not have a stomach. They do not have stomach, mouth, esophagus, or a straight intestine and associated glands. The next part of agnatha would be the hagfish. It is also bottom dwellers in cold marine waters. Yan yung halimbawa, babae. All right. So, as you can see the picture above, that would be the example of the hagfish. Yan, parang snake siya. And then, this hagfish has scavengers of dead and dying fish on ocean bottom. The next would be feed by sewing the fish with its tongue from the inside out. The hagfish also extremely flexible to avoid captures or to clean the sling off after self-defense secretions. And also the hagfish, they do not feeding their remain. They also hide in a burrows on the ocean's floor. That would be the classification of the hagfish in agatha or agnatha. The next parts of the classifications in the vertebrates would be chondrites. It also known as elasmobranchia. As you can see at the picture, it is also part or the part of elasmobranchia is the sharks, the skates, and also the rays. They actually have skeletons of the cartilage, but they don't have a bone. They also have movable jaws and the skeletons with paired fins. As you can see sa sharks, meron silang malaking or movable na jaws. The sharks are the scavengers that eat injured fish, carrion, garbage, and other waste from the ships, as well as the animals such as seals, turtles, birds, whales, crabs, and a wide range of fishes. Kung baga, yung sharks, kinakain rin nila yung sarili nilang um, waste and as well as yung mga katabi nilang mga pamamahay like for example yung mga fishes, mga small fishes, kinakain din yan nila. The shark's also mouth has 6 to 20 rows of backward pointing teeth. Just imagine the sharks has the 6 to 20 rows of backwards pointing teeth. And I think some of the movies as you can see kumakain din sila ng tao. But I don't know that would be the liable. But then they can also detect blood from an injured animal as far as 500 miles away. Once marine injured animals, Makasmell yan sila. Kahit 500 miles away pa yan. They can also swim with a side-to-side motion of their asymmetric tail fins. Behind that, there would be just out of their bodies like the wings of a plane. As you can see the sharks, their bodies is like the wings of a plane, di ba? So it is continuous a passage of a water over a shark's gills. That would be the part of the sharks. The next part would be the rays and skates. The skates are a family of the flat-bodied rays found in a warm and temperate seas. So I think meron din siyang sa skates, matatagpuan rin yan siya sa iba't ibang part ng ocean, but it is like sa deeper siguro na ocean. So they have eyes located on their upper surface of the body, and while the mouth and gills are located on the lower surface. Baba po lai. All right, thank you. So as you can see the picture, their eyes are located on the upper surface, but their mouth and gills are located on the lower surface. So their color makes them almost invisible because when another animal looks down on them, they are camouflaged with the darkness of the sea bottom. When looked up from the underneath, the animal is camouflaged with the light from the sun. 'Di ba? Sometimes kapag mangisda or ang mga mangingisda, makikita nila yung mga colorful na fishes kapag yung light mag-reflect sa ocean. So the next would be the water should enter their gills through two openings that would be called spiracles out of their heads. It is also most feed on the mollusks and crustaceans. That would be the characteristics of the rays and the skates. Unlike sa sharks, na yung body niya is like a wings of the plane, while on the rays and skates, they found the temperate seas. And also, their eyes located on the upper surface, while their mouth and gills are located on the lower surface. The next parts would be the ostraciasis. It makes up most of the vertebrate. It also the population in the fresh water and the salt water. This part of the fishes can also have I mean meron din siyang sa salt water, or they can also live on the fresh water. The lobe-finned fishes or the coelacanths have a paddle like fins with fishy or the fleshy bases. The lungfishes have gills where gas exchange takes place between water and the blood. The ostriaceae, they can also burrow into the mud and cover themselves in a muscus to stay moist, and also until the pond refills. Their characteristics also can has array fins. Fishes have fins that are supported by the long bones called rays. Yung tawag sa long bones yan nila is the rays. They are actually the most familiar fishes that includes the snake-like eels, the yellow perch, and also the cave fish, herring, and the lantern fish. As you can see the picture, that would be the examples of the ostices. The next part of the evolutions in fishes would be the morphology of a bony fish. Since it is part of the anatomy, we will discuss in external anatomy that they have a body structure. First would be they have a distinct head, the trunk, and also the tail regions. As you can see sa picture, na nagpapakita niyan, they actually have an eye, they have actually a mouth, and also the pectoral fin in the phalbic. So it is also part of the anatomy in human, and as well as to the other systems, or as well as to the other animals. This the bony fish, or the external anatomy of the bony fish, each side of head is also called operculum. It is the hard plate that opens at rear and covers and protect the gills. This also has a strong muscles along dorsal backbone, thrust tail from side to side. So, di ba sa tao mayroong skeletal system. And the skeletal system should a part, hindi siya yung tao hindi mabuo kung walang skeletal system. That the skeletal system focuses on the muscles. Here in fishes, there actually have a bones that can cover up to their back, that also makes them strong. The first one of the external anatomy in the body structures of the bony fish would be the fins. It is thin fan-shaped membrane. Here, yung sa dulo niya. It is also richly supplied with the blood. It is raising and lowering fins, regulate body temperature, and as well as to support by the rays or the spines. The rays or the bony yet flexible. Their body also, or their bones is also a flexible. The spines bony and rigid. The fins are actually adapted for swimming and guiding fish through the water. It is also the caudal fin extends from the tail. It moves from side to side and amplifies swimming motions. There actually have two dorsal fins. One would be the anterior and one would be the posterior. They are actually have also a ventral and a fin that help keep fish upright and move into the straight line. The next part of the fins would be the paired pelvic fins or the pectoral fins. It is used to steer, brake, or to brake, move up and down, and even in the back up. That would be the part of the fins that also include with their pelvic fins and pectoral fins. The next would be the integuments. The integuments has also the skin covered with the scales. Though the thin, round disc of highly modified bone that actually that actually grows from the pockets of the skin, it also overlaps like rough shingles. It also pointing towards the tail to minimize the frictions. The integuments can also grow during the entire life of the fish. It can also adjust by growth pattern to the food supply. The integuments scales grow quickly when food is abundant and slowly when scarce. The part of the skin the part of the fish that has a integuments would be the skin that contains pigment, the chromatropes that creates a various color patterns. As you can see sa picture below, that would be the parts of the skin in integuments that has a chromatops or chromatophores that create a various different color patterns. So, as I discussed regarding with the parts of the fish and also the classifications of the fishes and their vertebrates, that also essential with them. Kasi just imagine, without those classifications that they have, do you think mabubuhay sila? No, they are not. Kasi tayo, kapag nilagay tayo sa dagat, do you think mabubuhay tayo? No. Kasi yung part natin here lang sa lupa. Actually, marunong tayong lumangoy, but then hindi tayo tatagal sa dagat. Because their characteristics or our characteristics is only here in land, and also to manage and to take care of our environments and as well as our seas that can also produce foods from us. So the fishes is actually a part of our life, di ba? So this would be the part of the evolutions and the classification of the fishes or the different fishes. We have a characteristics and they actually have a characteristics. Yun lang po.
Wow,
Yun lang
thank
po,
you.
sir. Thank you po.
Yes, wow, thank you so much, Sir John Wayne, no? Ang galing mo namang mag-report, sir. Sana all. By the way, as uh, I would like to congratulate kay Sir John Wayne, no? And also, by group ba po ba kayo, sir? Or individual? Kani nga reporting. Hello, Wayne? Okay, sige. By the way, I no dili na ako familiar ang inyong about sa inyong topic, but sa report ni sir, no, actually napugoy na unsa ni, no, kanang napugoy na nasabtan gamay ra pod, but unsa ni any clarification or question about the report? Hello? Hello? Anyone?